Do you think that a lot of the attention on muscle building, on looks maxing, is actually just a safer discussion for young males? Like they can talk about that. They can talk about trying to get body fat percentages, or they're doing like mewing for their jaw or something. Like I think nasal breathing can be very helpful, but there's the whole thing of looks maxing is so insane to me. But maybe it's a way of talking about wanting to be different, because the conversation about sex, about intimacy, about maybe someone has issues with porn or erectile issues, maybe that's just like so scary that they have to, it's kind of a way of them getting close to the topic, but not like really in the topics. Because when people have approached me and said, "Hey man, can you help me out? I'm really having problems," they're not talking to me about what I just described. They're talking about not knowing which career to have, but then they're asking me about how to work out. And then it's almost like they're kind of, I have a feeling there's a lot more going on.
Yeah. So here's what I'd say. One of the great things I learned as a psychiatrist, the best way to run away from an unsolvable problem is to solve something else. So I think you're absolutely right. There's a displacement, because I don't even know where to start with how to flirt. But you know what I can control? Like, here's the thing about looks maxing. There's no other humans involved. There's no possibility, like, getting somebody else to fall in love with fucking me? Like, that's so hard. I don't even know where to start. I don't even like myself. How am I supposed to get somebody else to fall in love with me? When I look in the mirror, I see disgust. I cannot fathom or tolerate the idea of going on a date and having this person look at this. So I'm going to transform myself. I'm going to solve all of those problems by solving one problem. I'm going to turn it, if I can just do this one thing, I'm going to take a multivariate regression analysis and hyper-focus on one variable. I'm going to do a very interesting selection bias and cognitive bias, cognitive filtering of ignoring all of the beautiful people who are still single or divorced. And the other huge cognitive bias that I'm going to do, when I go to a playground and I see lots of kids running around and I look at the parents of those kids, they're average looking, right? Most people who have relationships look average, like statistically. That's how it works. But the mind does not know how to grab. The problem is too big. Where do I start? Do I learn how to flirt? I'm creepy. How do I learn how to flirt? How do I learn how to flirt without getting rejected? I'm tired of getting rejected. I don't want to get rejected. It hurts to get rejected. It proves all of my insecurities about myself. And that's just flirting. So if you talk to these people, a lot of times what you'll get is anytime you tell them to move forward, what they'll say is, but how do I solve the next thing? That doesn't account for this. Even if I looks max, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do this. And that's why, like, the more that they go into looks maxing, because there's this idea that if you're beautiful, right, and this is some really interesting theory of mind, when they look at the people that they're attracted to, in their mind, if someone's a 10 out of 10, I'd date them in a heartbeat. And if I date them, someone would date me. So I think this looks maxing thing is like a really great way of displacing all of our terrifying, overwhelming feelings of how do I get another human being to accept me? It's way more complicated. The good news is that I think we can actually figure it out. Like, I don't know how many research studies are published, but I was blown away. Did you know that half the studies on charisma are published in religious studies journals? It's fascinating. There's so much science out there. Like, we know so many things. We literally know, like, how people fall in love. We know that one of the reasons that it's harder to fall in love is because the feeling of being in love, you know, that feeling of like, when you're just seeing someone and like, you feel amazing. And like just their presence makes you feel amazing, floods your brain with dopamine. So as our dopamine system gets messed up by social media, it has literally become neurochemically harder to fall in love. So now when I have patients, I tell them, go for a walk for 1 hour before you go on a date and stay off of any technology.
Love that.
Literally, your neuroscientific capacity to fall in love is increased.